Here's the usual disclaimer. I'm here talking about Diminish. If you're here wondering why Will is under the username Saria talking about Diminish in weird ways, you might want to dip out now and just continue watching Diminish on the main channel, or else things might get very confusing. If you want to know more, then I have some other videos on this channel dipping into Diminish being an unfiction web series. It's always going to feel weird talking about Diminish as Saria, and I feel like I just need to get used to making this disclaimer. But hi everybody, my name is Saria. It's been a while since I last checked in, and so I just felt like doing that, especially because it's been more than 3 years since Diminish first released on YouTube. And I just felt like saying hello and giving a short little update on how things have been and how things are going. I think the main update might just be Diminish is back. To put it very simply, there was a period of about 2 years there where Diminish only released like 4 episodes. Act 2 was always intended to be a very slow and methodical and reflective act, but it was still only intended to take maybe a year at most, and it's been almost 3 years since Act 2 started. And Diminish, I think, lost a lot of its following, more than half of it, and I'm not here to try and beg people to come back. I'm just here in case people are seeing this video and they honestly did not know that Diminish is still going. It is, and it's back, hopefully, into a somewhat more regular posting schedule. Of course, I never planned for there to be a 1.5 year break between Act 2 episode 15 and Act 2 episode 16. And so when I say I'm not planning for any breaks like that to be happening again, you can take it with a grain of salt. But the reason why I bring it up in this context is because, and hopefully this isn't a spoiler of any kind, it's just sort of an update on how things are going. Act 2 is sitting on a major precipice, and the next episode is close to releasing, and the episode after that is going to be a big one. And I think when this next episode releases, you're going to be surprised that I'm calling the one after it a big one. Trust me, and good luck. One other little announcement, which isn't really a true announcement because it's more of a I'm finally closer than I've ever been to actually doing this. Sometime soon, TM, you might be able to play Diminish in a small form, and it might not be much, but you might be able to putz around as Apollo in Broken Meadows. We'll see how long it takes, because I feasibly, technically could have something like that done in a few days, but God knows when the spoons will be there and when the time will be right and how it'll all come together, like what features I want to provide, I want the experience to be like, if I want it to just be just controlling Apollo and no extra sauce. But I finally learned one of the most basic things you can do with the Godot game engine, which is just export a project as an executable, and that suddenly made the entire thing like feel like it was within reach. And again, like if it comes out, it's probably going to be so tiny and so scuffed. And I should have done it 2.5 years ago when everybody was actually interested in it, and I feel like I've missed the boat. But in case I haven't for you, that's possibly on the horizon. Sorry if it doesn't come out for another 5 years. Early last year, I made a video expressing my desire to do things more for myself and be more aware of when I'm just completely obliterating my life, worrying about other people and every single thing that I do. And I've gone back to worrying about everything and everyone again, and it's bled into a lot of other parts of my life. Streaming hasn't been as blissful as it used to be because I'm so constantly worried about how happy every single person in my community is, and there have been a couple of things that have happened that I kick myself for really hard every single day, and I really shouldn't. But the reason I bring that up right now is because I find it so strange, like I said earlier, talking about any of Diminish in this light, talking about it as a web series, as a story, because it feels still in my heart disrespectful to everybody who was impacted by believing that Diminish was completely based on entirely true people and events, and who were so destroyed by discovering there was a nonfiction. And I'm sure that this is still an ongoing issue. I'm sure that there are still many people to this day that don't realize its status as a nonfiction series and will constantly, maybe even by stumbling into this video and hearing these words just now, be negatively impacted by that and struggle. And this video is another attempt at trying to reinstate my ability to sort of be okay with living in a world where all of that is happening, and with me being a part of that, me being a cause, a catalyst for those things happening. And there's only so much I can do, and I absolutely want to do the best I can for as many people as I can in this life and in this absolutely distraught world. But as time goes on and as more is done with Diminish, I just have to keep my friend's words in mind that inspired me to, approach life a different way and try to not have my life be utterly ruled by worrying about everybody. And even as a normal storyteller, that's going to be something that I'm going to have to be reminding myself of constantly when Diminish falls over the other side of this precipice that Act 2 is sitting on. I shouldn't say more as much as I want to, because I'm feeling kind of inspired to. I'll channel that into the work instead, and hopefully this video has served the purpose that I guess I wanted it to, which is to inform people who didn't know Diminish is still going, and it's hopefully in a sustainable state, and it's in one of the most important stages of the series thus far. I'm unfortunately less open as a person than I've ever been in my life, where I was, accepting DMs and interacting with people individually who found me through Diminish, and I'm not really able to do that as of late, and my life is not really getting to a place where I'm going to be starting to be able to do that again. Because in case Diminish didn't make it very clear, I'm a disaster. And yeah, as I said, that's been bleeding, unfortunately, a little bit into other activities I've done, like my live streams, but I still stream at least once a week lately, and that's been really sparse for me. So that is a way that you can catch me, at least to get in touch somehow. It's a bit impersonal, and that is by design because I need it that way, but I always appreciate inordinately everybody who comes and supports and everybody who leaves nice thoughts. It's so thank you. It's so thank you. So that's about it, I think. Thank you, everybody, truly so much. These have been a really, really, really weird few years. I feel like there have been two eras of my life since Diminish released its first episode. The first 2 months or so, and the entire time since. And those first 2 months or so were just completely blissful. And there's been a lot of reality pulling no punches ever since. And it means a lot to have a pretty darn understanding community in these personal spaces, and also a pretty freaking understanding community in Diminish. It's actually unreal how patient everybody has been. And again, I think a lot of people just sort of gave up on it and don't really care about it anymore, but it is what it is. Act 2 ended up desperately needing exactly what happened, and that's more clear to me than ever now that I'm almost done with this next episode, and it just all came together and it all felt like exactly what it was asking for. And I'm sorry that it's been such a long wait, even when episodes were coming out. I mean, everything compared to the pace that I was putting out for Act 1 is going to feel pretty slow, probably. But here we are, and that's an update of sorts. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support, and please be good. I wish you all the best that life has to offer. Dream on, friends. Peace. See you in the next. Thank you.